Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm Lynn with Plasma Energy Solution and with SmartHunterSupply.com. Those are both of our websites, and today I want to share with you just a few of the Q&As that I've been getting recently. It might be a question that you've had that you'll be glad to have an answer to. So here we go. This is a question and answer on setting up pairs of pads, and that might help you when you're helping others if you happen to be sending them pads, the plasma energy pads that you have made from your source supplies, or it's helpful for the people that receive these that are outside of the country, as that is what we send. So here's the question. 2 of the 3 envelopes have arrived. I applied the pads to a large hive-shaped water dispenser, but the outside of it is ribbed, meaning it's not a flat surface. So would there be an uninterrupted signal from one side to the other? Does it make a difference? And my answer is, that will not make a difference. The most important thing is that it's clear glass or a clear plastic container. It's okay if it's tinted or translucent, but you just have to be able to see inside of it, okay? The next question, I can't apply all the treatments, all the pairs of pads at the same time. There's just too many of them to do all at once. So if I apply 2 or 4 at a time to smaller containers and then took some of the water from those containers and add it to one large dispenser, will that add all of the energies of the waters from all of the waters into one separately charged from the separately charged containers? And my answer, I always recommend that you set up individual formulas on separate clear glass or plastic containers, and then you always have your mother source, is what I call it. Then you can put the energies that you would like to have together on one container. Your body will pick and choose from those energies as it needs at any given time. Another question. Would I be able to take a sample from the large container, spray that onto 2 different, making 2 different paper towel patches, as I've shown you how to do on our website, and use that to change all subsequent water? My answer is yes, you can do that, and then have those combined energies on the paper towel pads. And that might be really useful if you're trying to share these with somebody that you're mailing to, and you're trying to streamline what you're doing with the packaging. Another question, if I have charged water in the large container and I add plain water to top it off, will the additional water that's added also be changed? Or will it all be diluted? My answer is yes, you can add filtered or distilled water, and please don't use tap water. Well water is okay if you have a good well. Some people are fortunate to have spring water coming out of a hillside that is of good quality, and that's fine to use. And when I say spring water, please don't include spring water that you can buy in gallon jugs from the grocery store. A lot of that water is simply out of the tap somewhere. If you know what the source is, you know it's a good spring, then go for it. But if you're not sure, then I would go to filtered or distilled water. The water that is added will be changed, and you will not dilute all of the water in the container. The existing water in the container will change the new water that you add to it. Okay, so that's from one set. And by the way, you might look into having a water filter if you don't. Because if you're used to getting distilled water and we have an interruption in the supply chain, you'd be awfully glad to have a filter on hand. A more economical way might be to look at the zero water filters, and you can get those at some of the big box stores. You can get them online, and I would order some extra filters in at the same time. The other thing is there are filters like Big Berkey and Alexa Pure that use a charcoal system, and those are going to be more expensive, but they're also quite effective. So just think about that as far as your overall situation of where you are getting your water. Okay, here's another one. I was wondering, when I bought the Plasma Energy water station, did you change drinking water with real plasma and use that water to put into our vials? Or did you actually make Gans and pull the plasma water from the top of the Gans and put them in the vials? And my answer is the vials always contain the Gans water from the top of the jar of the specific Gans combination in the Plasma Energy station when you purchase that initial set from us. Now that is true even when it's wintertime and there are 4 vials instead of the 16 glass vials. And we are phasing out those glass vials to where we will go to the 4 vials. Now those 4 vials, as it's described in the Plasma Energy station, Vial 1 will contain what was originally in vials 1 through 4. Vial 2 will contain what was originally in vials 5 through 8. Vial 3 will contain what was in vials 9 through 12. And vial 4 will contain what was in vials 13 through 16. So yes, you are still getting the Gans water off of those vials. Now, having said all that, you could, once your station is set up, you could put that water into a single vial and send that to someone for their Plasma Energy station, and it's going to have those energies in it. Plasma Energy just needs a ride. So it needs a ride in a little glass vial, it needs a ride in the combined plastic vials, or it could even be on the paper towel pads that are sprayed and packaged into the pairs of pads that are sent outside of the country. All right. The next question, do we actually have plasma from the jar of Gans? Answer, yes, the vials have the plasma water from the jar of the Gans. Another question, something tells me we do not have the plasma directly from the jar of Gans. Rather, we got changed water. My answer, I don't know what your something is that is telling you that, but it is incorrect. Question, in one of your videos you stated that Mr. K told you never to give away your Gans because that's where the money is. Answer, that's where the money is an incorrect statement. Mr. K said the Gans will last for generations, and that is what is real value to you and your family and your heirs. In other words, it is more valuable than your grandmother's heirloom silverware or your most prized piece of art. It is a gift of energy that can be used by the body to bring balance to the body. And it will continue. Dr. Paul used to say this Gans is going to last a lot longer than we are. I almost have a feeling you don't even give us plasma water, that you're giving us drinking water that has been changed. Boy, somebody was really skeptical on this one. I'm glad I didn't put their name on it. If you feel you've been slighted in some way, please package up what you have purchased and send it back, and I'll issue a refund. Your statements are disparaging to the love, care, intention, and brilliance that Dr. Paul applied to everything he did with the plasma energy. And that goes for me too. Your insinuations in the form of your manipulative wording display a lack of understanding on your part and a lack of appreciation of the gift of what you have in the plasma energy station. Another question. I don't really feel much from the station. It's mostly in the head, a belief. Sometimes I think I do, but water from my tap freezes in the same type of patterns as my plasma water. I don't think there's any difference. I use artesian well water from a well of my neighbor's that is 1,000 feet in my glass water dispenser as my energy station. My answer, the artesian water you are using is likely of a much higher quality than the water that most people have access to and has more energy aspects to it than most municipal tap waters. Consider the effects of being able to use water that is not laced with chlorine, fluoride, mercury, and much, much more. Question, is it your belief that the changed water is just as potent as the plasma water? That question can be addressed if you spend time reading the testimonials of others. Many are sharing changed water with family and friends from their plasma energy station and their other formulas. Question, did you sell me vials of changed drinking water? Okay, answer. I repeat, no matter what the price of every plasma energy station, the vials always contain the Gans water from the jars of each of the specific Gans combinations in the plasma energy station. Your statements are disparaging to the study, understanding, and the energy's careful formulation of the Gans and the integrity that Dr. Paul and I applied to everything we did with the plasma energy. I would suggest you spend more time learning about the gift of what you have in the plasma energy station. You might want to, there are over 60 videos, there are many blogs, many FAQs, and many testimonials. You might want to drink more of the water and utilize it in your cooking, laundry, applying it to your plants, sharing it with your pets, and putting it around the perimeter of your property. If you don't understand why I'm telling you this, go to the November 2017 blog and see the effects of plasma energy water a man had made for his parents who lived on Dominica, and their property survived intact after 90% of Dominica was destroyed by Hurricane Maria. Okay, we're going to shift gears. Here's another question. My son ordered me some of your Gans water for my lungs. I was life flighted several years ago for viral sepsis, which apparently caused some lung issues as I ended up having to use oxygen ever since. After testing, I was told I would have hypoventilation syndrome and since have been told COPD. I wear oxygen at night, and my question is, will I get positive effect of coiling a few feet of my oxygen tubing in a glass vessel with the Gans water strapped to the vessel? The tubing is a clear, translucent green. Thank you in advance for any information you can share. And excuse me, I have a throat tickle. My answer, yes, go ahead and try that. A friend of mine with 4-stage COPD uses distilled water in his machine with the lung vial attached to a distilled water container, so the water that goes through the machine has the energy of the lung support. He has done much better since starting that routine. Also, drink some of the water. You could also put some in a diffuser in an area where you spend time, so you have that going on in the air that is surrounding you, in the air that you're breathing. Several times during the day, you could also spend several minutes breathing through the coiled tubing in a glass jar that you have poured the water over. Okay, and here's a testimonial about healing a rash with aloe and plasma energy station water. Hi Lynn, I'm having a wonderful time with my plasma station water. I had a neighbor put a wet cold washcloth and a tablespoon of aloe vera and the station water on a really nasty rash. He went to the ER and the doctor the next day. The doctor got the report back, which was good, but he couldn't get over the fact that the rash was completely gone. I couldn't tell my neighbor it had plasma water in it because he totally refused to listen about it, even though he was a science book publisher in his day. I hope to open his eyes someday, but have to go slow. He told me that the nursing staff never heard of using aloe vera and they were taking notes. Little do they know it was a lot more than that. Lots of laughs. Also, I put a small vial in the front garden of our apartment complex because we had a storm coming in. The storm never came, but our gladiolas shot up 4 inches overnight. That's great. Having such joy over this and giving it away like crazy. Have a blessed day. Mary Ann. Hi, Mary Ann. Thanks for sharing with us, and thanks for your creative way in handling a skeptic. Just enjoy the smile that it gives you as it gives to me. And thanks for sharing our never-ending plasma energy with others. And I think that's everything we're going to do right now. So I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I want to also remind you of our special for October 2020, buy one vial and get one free. Now it's certain vials. Any vial between $77 and $97 that you purchase, you can get a free vial of Peace, hand and body sanitizer, mosquito fly relief, or indoor-outdoor plant. And any vial that you purchase between $157 and $197, you'll receive your choice of several things that are listed on the website that are priced between $77 and $97. So be sure and go check that on our website. And I want to thank you again. Be sure to go to our website, plasmaenergysolution.com, and also check out our sister site, smarthuntersupply.com. Thanks again. Share with your friends and give me a thumbs up if you've liked this video.